Okay. So I think in our last class, we spoke about like some of the features where, on the profile you can modify view, you can configure view all, modify all permission. And then there is also a permission called modify all data that would give you access to, all the records in the system. Usually that access will be held by system admins. And then we also saw some standard features like account teams, opportunity teams, and also case teams, and what is the importance of those teams, and how Salesforce is controlling the security. And then we also saw an app builder feature where we created this contact record page using the app builder, and how Salesforce is allowing us to configure or configure the changes, the UI changes. So by creating the app builder like this, we were able to customize and configure the contact record page. So I think those are some of the standard features that we have dealt with. So before moving to programming, I just want to spend one more class, like probably a couple, today and tomorrow. So today I want to spend on talking about some other standard features, and then probably tomorrow I'll talk a little bit about reports, and then probably from Wednesday or Thursday onwards we can move on to coding, starting with some of the basics in coding. So now let's move on to the other standard features. See, the standard features, these are already there in the system. We are just trying to explore what they are, and I'm just trying to give you some idea what they are, so that when there is a requirement, or when there are when you go to a company where Salesforce is already implemented, you would probably know where to look for and what to see for. Okay. I think we have already seen lead conversion, right? Lead conversion is one standard feature that I always want to talk about, where you create a lead and then you click on convert. So when you click convert, automatically an account, contact, and an opportunity gets created. Or you can just choose an existing contact, or there are lots of options that are available here. So when you are converting a lead, automatically, in the CRM process, we have an account, contact, and opportunity that gets created. You just need to make sure users will select whatever the right choice field is, and they will do that. Users will choose what right option for them, whether they want to create a new account or whether they will search for an existing account, it's up to the user to be able to determine what this is. Here we don't have any configuration or customization feature that's available. But I just want to take you to something here. I just want to go to setup. Okay, I go to Object Manager, and I want to go to Lead. Okay, I want you guys to know about this field, this feature called Map Lead Fields. Okay, so this is a good feature that you need to remember about. So what happens, if you notice, you see, let's say when you're creating a new lead, for example, let's say you create a new lead. I'll just say, okay, let me just save this lead. So I saved the lead. You can notice, I created a lead, and then when I click convert, okay, I just chose the defaults and hit convert. So what happens? Automatically, you see, an account got created, a contact got created, and then opportunity got created. Okay. So let me go to the account. You see, the account name on the lead got mapped to the account name here. The phone number got mapped to the phone number. Number of employees got mapped to here. And if you go to the contact, see the title got mapped here, and this belongs to the lead source web got here. Mobile number and phone number and email like created got here. So when from the lead, right, like when a lead is converted to account, contact, and opportunity, like from one, like from just this record, 3 records got spanned. From just this lead, an account, a contact, and and an opportunity got created. And Salesforce behind the scenes is maintaining a mapping. Like, Salesforce is maintaining a mapping like, okay, the name here will be mapped to the contact name. The company name will become the account name. The title here becomes the title on the contact. This becomes the contact lead source. Okay, this becomes the industry of the account. The annual revenue becomes the, annual revenue on the account. Phone number becomes the phone number on the contact. Like, Salesforce is taking care of behind the scene. There is a field mapping, right? Okay, the name field on the lead is mapping to the name field on the contact. Company is mapping to the account name. So there is this mapping that is being maintained in the backend. But let's say you are creating some custom fields. For example, you see this current generator is a custom field. Like if you see the API name, I'm going to show you that. You see, current generator _season it's a custom field. Now, or for your requirement, like, product interest, primary, these are all the custom fields that you have. And for your requirement, you might create other custom fields on the lead. Okay. But now the business will come and ask, hey, we want these custom fields, but when the lead is converted to that account, contact, and opportunity, this field value should map here on the account, or this field value should map here on the contact. So they might have a requirement like that. So in that case, you can click this map lead field and you can say, okay, the current generator will map to SLA serial number. Number of locations will map to number of locations here. Primary will map to upsell opportunity. Product interest will map to customer priority. So you can just choose the some of the reason why it is not saving is we need to make sure the data type between this and the data type between this is matching. So right now I'm just I'm not looking at those. I'm just randomly selecting them. But here, see on the left side you see all the lead fields, and on the right side you see the account, contact, and opportunity field. So here is where you can enable that mapping so that when a lead is converted, automatically the field value on the lead gets converted to account, contact, and opportunity as well. Now the standard mapping, like name to name mapping, like lead name to contact name, lead phone number to contact phone number, lead email to these are already given to us by Salesforce in the backend. So that those mappings we cannot change or we cannot do anything. But here on the the custom mappings, if there are any custom mappings, those things we can manage here by using in the fields and relationships section. You have this map lead field section where you can do that. Okay, and you will never find that map lead fields button on any other object. You will only find that button on the lead object. Okay, now let's talk about set history tracking. So what is this set history tracking? So this is available for all the objects. Okay, let me enable the history. So when I enable the history, let's say annual revenue, company, email, and just save it. Okay, so I just clicked on set history tracking and I checked this checkbox for these 3 fields. Okay, annual revenue, company, and email. Let's see what happens. Okay, I click edit. So I change the company name to okay. I save the lead. Let me customize the page layout a little bit. Okay, I just want to customize the page layout. So I'll customize the page layout to be okay. I just want to add this lead history related list. Okay. I just want to add it to all layouts. Okay. Now let me just refresh this. You see something called lead history. Okay. So what does the lead history saying now? So it is saying at this time for this field, company field, I change the value from Florida to Tampa, like the current value. So it's just like the lead history is nothing but it's an audit field. Okay. So now let me change it to and save. See, automatically it is saying from Tampa, I change the value to Tempe. Okay, like the company field. Now, let me go back to fields and relationships. In set history tracking, I enable it for, okay, annual revenue as well. Let me change annual revenue. You see, automatically it would say, I change the annual, at this time, I change the value from this value to this value. So it's an audit field, like, so field history, the feature is called as field history tracking. This is available for all the objects like custom object, standard object, it doesn't matter. It's available, like if you go to fields and relationship section, for every object, you have something called set history tracking. So the thing is, set history tracking, you can only enable for 20 fields per object. Okay. You cannot enable it for all the fields. So that's why you need to only take the important fields, like the important fields that are really needed for audit purposes, or, you know, the important fields that you really need to make sure that you want to track. Only for those fields you want to enable field history tracking, because by enabling field history tracking, like, you know, your users can see the history, like, of all the fields, what's going on. So what is the date, time, what field change, who is the user, what is the original value, and what is the new value. So this way, what happens if there are some important fields, like, you know, you would always know who changed the value. Now you might wonder, hey, we already have last modified by, right? Like, you know, we have last modified by, but last modified by indicates any record that's been marked. Like, for example, I can come here, just click edit, do not change any value, and hit save. The last modified will still change. Okay. So like if I don't change anything and still hit edit and hit save, so last modified by make sure to track every record that is being saved. Like, you know, every time a save button is hit by a user, the last modified by gets saved. Whereas, you know, field history tracking clearly makes sure not only once, like no matter, you can change it as many times as you want, like this. Again, it will create another record in the field history tracking. If you go here, it would say, you see, previously I changed from this value to this. Now this value is changed from this value to this. So this way, like if there are some important fields, you know, you need to make sure, like, you need to, like, whenever there are certain important fields, you need to make sure, I mean, from the business standpoint, if they are important, if you need to make sure to enable field history, and when you enable the field history, automatically the tracking will happen. The reason why I went to page layout is because you see, when I enabled field history, this wasn't showing up, right? This lead history wasn't showing up here. Even though the values are tracked behind, this wasn't showing up in the page layout. That's why I went to the page layout, like, the lead layout, went to relator list, and in the relator list, I added the lead history layout, like, the lead history relator list to this layout. And hence, that's why I'm able to see that here. Otherwise, we will not be able to see that lead history there. Okay, I mean, even though it's tracking in the behind the scenes, we might not be able to see it because we didn't add it to the page layout. But as an admin, we can query the data from the backend, or we will be able to run the reports and still be able to get whatever information that we wanted. Okay, so any questions on setting field history or map lead fields feature? Anybody? I just wanted to tell you one other feature of the opportunity, which is kind of important if they are using the standard features. Okay, so you see now products, right? Like, see, what are opportunity is nothing but we have, like, as a company, if a company have an opportunity to make a sale, okay, all the details, like the actual financial details. I mean, in most of the CRM applications, wherever you go, opportunity is the only object where everything revolves around. Like, I work for a project which is a hardcore CRM project, and probably the word opportunity is used at least like 100, 150 times a day by me or anybody working in that project, because every customization, every configuration, everything is related to this opportunity object. Because, see, this is where we are tracking, right? See, if somebody's, because every company wants to sell things. Now, where are you tracking that information that you are selling? Everything is tracked on this opportunity object. Now, opportunity object is nothing but it's just a table in the behind the scenes. But the name of the table is opportunity, and in a CRM world, like in a sales CRM world, this table has got a lot of importance. Like, this table has got a lot of importance because it stores the crucial information related to a sale. Okay. Now, the crucial information is which account we are selling this to, what is the name, who is the owner of this, like when are we trying to close it, what is the amount. You see, this amount is the important thing, because, and then what is the phase, which phase it is. It's just prospecting phase. Once it is closed, and once it is closed one, yeah, that's good for business because the opportunity is being closed one. It's really good for business. But if it is closed last, it's bad for business because it's closed last. So you are not going to make money off it. Okay. And you see the stage history. There is a field called stage history, like where Salesforce is tracking automatically when the stage name was changed, and all those things are automatically tracked. Okay. Now, let's say it is in qualification stage. Let's assume the opportunity is in qualification stage. Now, what are products here? Products are nothing but the products that the company is trying to sell. Like, if this Salesforce, I think we spoke about this in the very initial days. If this Salesforce instance is used by an insurance company, okay, what would be the product there? Okay, the product would be, 1 year car insurance or 1 year bike insurance. Like, that would be the product, right? It's a service product. It's not a physical product, but the insurance companies basically sell services. But it's a product, right? So the product name would be 1 year full insurance for car, or 1 year full insurance for okay. So, or like it would be the type of insurance that these are called service products. Or let's say this is a this Salesforce instance is owned by a car company. So what would they sell? The cars, they sell basically cars. The car would be whatever, let's say if it is Honda, it'd be like Honda Pilot or Honda CRV or whatever it is. The product can be which are physical products that are being sold. Or if it is a magazine company like the Washington, the New York Times, or Wall Street Journal or whatever. If it is a magazine kind of thing, it would be a physical product that is sold, but on a subscription basis. It would be like 1 year worth of magazine. The product is 1 year worth of magazine, but the product is delivered at schedules, one per month or one per week. So the product can be anything. Depending on the company, the product can be anything, but each product will have its own price. Depending on that, they will make, the whole money calculation will be done. So I just want to show you what this is. See, for now, if I am just adding a product, right? If I just click add product, these are some of the products that Salesforce automatically gives us by default. Let's say I chose this. I chose this. Next. And it's asking how much quantity we need. Let's hit save. You see, automatically the products got added, and if you notice, the total amount also got calculated because see, this is 100,000 and this is 5,000, but multiplied by quantity 2, so it's all 110,000 is automatically there. And you see, the stage is qualification. So depending on because the probability is 10%, it's just like if I update this stage to closed one, because closed one means we finished the deal and everything is good. The expected revenue is going to be this because we sold the product already. That's the meaning of closed one. That's why we are going to make 110,000. If I mark it as closed lost, it would be $0 because the opportunity is gone. Let me mark it as closed lost. See, the expected revenue is $0 because it's closed lost. So now here we are adding the product, and you see the sales price is automatically set up. Why are we setting the sales price automatically? Because see, as a company, you might be selling so many products, and not every sales user should be able to remember the product value, right? How much the product value is. That's why, as a company, you decide on a price, okay? On a price, and you say it as soon as the sales user takes the product or selects the product, automatically the price comes up. Okay, just imagine if everything is in the hands of a salesperson. If one of your friend is working in a car as a car salesperson, you can just go pay 5,000 and get a BMW. But things doesn't work like that, right? Because for every car there will be certain price that is automatically set up, and probably each sales user will be allowed to, okay, they will say, hey, if the car value is this, maybe you can go up to 10% discount. We are giving you the power to be able to reduce that depending on the negotiation. But they cannot just make their own decision and sell a $50,000 car for 5,000. So that's why every product have to be configured with the price associated with it. Okay, so let's see where this is happening. Okay, let's just see where, if at all, we want to create our own products. Now, these products are given to us because this is a practice environment. Salesforce have automatically given us these products. But what if it's a real environment and we are trying to sell our own cars? Okay, so let's just see this. So we can go to, you see, there is an object called products. Okay, it's a standard object. I mean, again, object is nothing but it's a table, but I just want to create a product on my own. I'll just say okay. I'll add the product code as BMW3. I'll just say active. I'll just put none for now. Okay. So this is the product. I just created a product, Okay, I didn't add the price or anything. I just said the product name is BMW 3 Series, product code is BMW, and I just said active. Okay, so price book, I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay, so you see, we are telling what is the minimum base price, like, list price. I'm going to put it as $30,000 and hit save. Okay, so here what did we do? We created a product called BMW 3 Series, and then in the backend we also added it to a price book. I'm going to come back to what price book is. Okay, so and put it as $30,000. Okay, this is active. Now let's go back to an opportunity. Let's go back to this opportunity. Okay, go click add product. So let me choose the price book. Choose price book. I'm going to choose standard price book. I'll explain you what that means. Why is it not showing up? Did I not activate it? I activated it, right? The product is active. Let me just refresh this once. Okay, I'm gonna add product. Why am I not seeing my product? Come on. I added a product name. I made this active. I even added the folders. Okay. Now let me try. Okay, I see my product. Okay. I'm going to explain you what that price book means, but for now, let's choose, this is the list price. You see, automatically, there, like, it's indicating what price it is, and it is giving the sales user, like, it is giving the salesperson to be able to adjust the price, but, they can just hit save. And you see, automatically the BMW 3 Series product got added, and the amount is also updated. Okay, so basically here is where we can go to the product object here, and all the products that the company is going to sell will be listed here, like the name of the product code, whether it is active or not, what product family it belongs to, and all that. Like, what is product family? Product family, you see, BMW has hybrids, they have, SUVs, they have sedans, they have bikes, they have even like bicycles. So they have everything. So the product family, like if this is owned by BMW, in the product family drop down, they might have things like, they will add all the options. Right now, we are not adding them anything, but they might have all the options like sedan, SUV, and all those things. And, 3 Series will definitely come under sedan. And, maybe BMW X3, probably in SUV section. Or, they might have some I-Series ones, which might be electric. So they have, so that, when they want to report or anything, they can just say, hey, what are all the products that are available in the family, like in the hybrid family or in sedan family, they'll be able to report on it. Okay, so that's the product. Okay, that's the actual product. But let's talk about what price book means. Okay, so just worry about the product now. For now, we have BMW 3 Series as a product. We can have 5 Series. We can have X3. We can X5. These are all the products that are available. Okay, just the product. Now, let's talk about what a price book means and why it is even important, why having a price book is important. So let's say take United States. Okay, how much does the BMW 3 Series cost? I'm assuming it's probably around $30,000. Okay, so if you convert it into Indian currency, probably it's maybe 21 lakhs or something like that. Okay, but I'm sure in India, a BMW 3 Series might cost more than that, right? It might cost around 30 lakhs. I'm making up numbers, okay? So what does that mean? It's the same product, like the car is same, BMW 3 Series, but in India, the price is 30 lakhs, which means probably around, let's assume it's around $42,000. Whereas here in United States, the same car is sold for $30,000. Okay, that's one use case. So depending on the geographical location, a different price is being applied for the same product. Okay, I mean, how can you solve this? You can solve it by create two things. You can just say BMW 3 Series India, BMW 3 Series United States, BMW 3 Series Germany, BMW 3 Series Japan. You can do that. Or you can only have one product called BMW 3 Series and find a way to be able to list different price for different location. Okay, or that's one use case. Or let's say you own a cloth store. I'm just making up, and you have this. So you have a Salesforce instance. Now you have a product which is sold for $1,000 general price, but you have your premium customers. Those are the customers that have been doing business with you for so long. So for premium customers, you want to maintain, you want to probably give them a $1,000 product which is worth $1,000. You might want to give it to them for $900 because they are premium customers. Okay, so rather than asking sales users to remember all this, so what we can do is we can create a price book called standard price book is already there. You can create another price book called premium customer price book. Okay, so the same product can be in the premium the price for the premium customer price book can be $900, and the same product within the regular standard price book can be $1,000. So now the sales user knows, when the premium customer is like, hey, I'm a premium customer, look at my identification. When adding a product, they can choose the premium customer price book. Okay. In the same way, like in the car example, we can have, the product can be one, but we can add multiple price books. Okay. So remember the name itself is price book. Okay. So it lists the price for the book that lists the price for different products. That's why the name itself is price book. So what it does, now we can create, for BMW example, right? We can create different price book. One can be BMW, India price book. One can be United States price book. One can be Japan price book. One can be United Kingdom price book. And the price can be in the standard regular price book. It can be this. In United States price book, it can be 30,000. In India price book, it can be 42,000. In Japan price book, it can be $35,000. So like whatever it is. So depending on our use, either the price book can be created depending on the geographical area, or the price book can be created depending on your customer. It is up to you. Like, it is up to us on how the company would price its model. But the ability, like product is an object of its own. Price book is nothing but a child object of this product. Okay. I mean, not child object, like basically product is a object, price book is another object, and then there is a object called price book entry, which is a junction object between product and price book. Okay. No, you don't have to worry about that, like what's the junction object and everything. But like you just need to know that these price books allow you to create different prices for the same product. Okay. Let's just see it as an example. Okay. So before even I go anywhere, like let me first create the price book. So now you see this, you might not, like if you are working on an existing project, right? Let's say you got a job, and if you are working on an existing project, these things might already be configured. Like, the products, price books, and all these things might already be configured, and you might not ever notice it. Like, you might finish the working in there for like 1-2 years, and you might not even notice. You go to add product, you see some products, you might on the opportunity, you might click add product, you might add a product, and you might you might be done. Or if the product is starting from scratch, if the project is initial stages, they want to use a feature. Hey, we have this requirement. We want to be able to define different prices for the same product. Then you would absolutely want to do it. Or you might have a use case where if it is a running project, they are already using price books, but they might want to come back and say, can you change the price for this? Or can you create a new price book? Or can you update the price? Like, or what, this product, like, for example, I'll just take one, M2, probably M2 series. M2 is so far only sold in America. Maybe they want to expand it to India as well. So what would they do? They'll come back and say, hey, can you make sure even M2 is available in India price book as well? Okay. In that case, what you need to do, you need to add that price book to an additional, like you need to add that product to additional price book. Like there can be so many use cases, but the whole concept is you need to understand what product is, what price book is, and what price book entry. Okay. So we already saw what product is. Like we already saw, see, this is the product, just simple information. What is the name of the product? What is the code? Whether it's active or not, and what is the product family? Good. That's what a product is. Now I'm going to talk about price books. Okay. So we already have a price book called standard price book that's already given to us by Salesforce. Okay. So I'm going to mark it as the standard price book. Okay. I think, because there is only one price book, it's automatically assuming it to be. Okay. Now I'm going to create a new price book. I will take the geography example. Okay. So I'll just say United States. Okay. I'm going to mark it active. Why am I unable to check this? Let's forget it. Okay. I created one price book called United States price book. I'm going to add another price book. I'll just say India price book. And I'm going to add one more price book. So now if I go to price book, so we have Germany price book, India price book, United States price book, and standard price book. Standard price book is automatically given to us by Salesforce. Okay, so we're not worried about it. I'm trying to make this a standard price book, but it's okay. Let's not worry about it. Okay, so now we have 4 price books. Okay, So let's take this example, just BMW. We have a product and we have 4 different price books. Okay. Now all we wanted to do is set the price for these products in different price books. Okay. So product is a master object, price book is a master object, and there is this object called price book entry. Okay, price book entry is nothing but a junction object between product and price book. So which allows us to say, okay, for BMW 3 Series, in United States price book, the price is 3,000. In here, the price is like whatever, like we can determine those. Okay, I'm going to go to the product. If you notice this, I'm going to go to the product. You see, I'm like, you can see here, for the standard price book, it's $30,000. I'm just say add to price book. Okay, the name of the price book is United States price book. Currency is US dollars. I'll just say next. Okay, I'm gonna say the product price is 30,000. Good. In United States, it's 30,000. Then I'm gonna click add price book. India, I'll still maintain. In India price book, I'm saying it is as $42,000. Okay. Now I'm gonna click add to price book. I'll say Germany price book. Currency is USD. In Germany, the cars will be even cheaper, so I'm gonna put it as 25,000 maybe. So now, if you see, I'm saying BMW 3 Series is the product, and you have price books. Okay, in the price books, I'm saying, forget about the standard, like these are always available by default. In United States, I'm saying 30,000. In India, I'm saying 42,000. In Germany, I'm saying 25,000. Okay, so and we can have as many entries as we want like this. So which indicates this BMW 3 Series product is sold. These are the prices that are being sold. Okay, now let's say somebody is creating an opportunity. Let's say I'm working in America. A sales guy is working here, and the sales guy will say opportunity for enterprise rental. They are planning to close it. Okay, just save. Good. It's saved. The details are saved. Now they want to add products, which products that the enterprise company is trying to sell. So while adding product, because this person is working in America, they'll just choose a price book. Okay, they'll choose a price book called United States price book. They can choose any price book, but because they are working here, they'll just choose a price book called United States price book. Okay, and now they go and click add products. You see, you're only seeing one because, for United States price book, we only added this product. And click next. You see, it's automatically showing the quantity as $30,000. But again, depending on the negotiation, sometimes the salesperson might make it. This is how they really do. The car salesmen really do these kind of things. So they might make it $29,999 and just say save, and you see automatically the amount is updated, and the product is here. Okay. Now in the same way, let me create another opportunity. Probably this person is in Germany. Okay. So I'll just say I'm gonna save. Now I'm gonna choose a price book. You see, instead of United States, the salesperson will choose Germany price book. It saves. And now when you add a product, you see, automatically the price is showing up as 25,000. Okay. Price is automatically showing up as 25,000. They feel, yeah, this is a good price. They leave it alone. It's saved. And if you go to the details, you see automatically 300,000, everything got updated. Now, sometimes you might be like, oh, I forgot. I'll just choose a price book. Instead, I'll choose India price book and hit save. You see, when you change the price book, all the products will be deleted because, the moment you change the price, because see, in Germany, you're trying to, this person was supposed to sell in India, but accidentally they choose Germany price book. Okay, so that's why when you choose the price, when you change the price book, automatically all the products that got added will be deleted. So you choose the price book, you click India price book, and then when you choose add product, you see it's automatically showing 42,000. Click next. Quantity is this much. Save. You see automatically the price got updated. Okay, so that is the concept of product, price book entry. Okay, I mean it is a known concept. I mean, people might call this thing different in different applications or anything, but I mean this is a common concept that is needed for any business, no matter what, how small or how big, because every business has different types of customers, and I'm sure every business wants to offer different prices for different customers. But again, there are some businesses who might not care about that. They want to have a fixed pricing model, and in that case, they just maintain the standard price book. They don't even have to maintain all these price books. And there are so many companies that does that, like just maintain a standard price book, and it's up to them to be able to what you call list whatever price in the standard price book, and they will allow the salespeople to make modifications. But having these price books, like in the example that I showed you, I showed the example of a geographical price book, but you can have premium customer price book, regular customer price book. It depends. Like depending on use case, you can just do whatever you want. But just so that this price book helps you to make modification, price book help you to achieve whatever we are trying here.
Shravan,
Yes.
do we need to select the price book first and then add the product, or we can select the product and then add the price book? We cannot do that.
You need to choose the price book, because if you add the product, right?
Okay.
First of all, here, right? Let's say when you directly right now you can add product, because for this opportunity we already chose the price book. Okay, so let me just add a brand new opportunity. Okay. See, when you are adding a product, it's because we have multiple price books, even it is directly asking us to first choose the price book before even you add a product. And you notice this, this price book, depending on the price book, only the product show up. For example, like I mentioned, you have the M series BMW that's not available in India. So what happens? So when you choose this price book, when you choose add product, see, the product will not even which products should show up here can also be controlled by us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in US price book we can add multiple products, and in US price book you can add those 4 or 5 products that are sold. If any product that's not available in India price book, you don't need to add that product to that price book, and hence it doesn't even show up. Okay. Now the most automation what I have seen, what people usually do. The place where I worked, or one of the place where I worked, what they did, usually every opportunity is associated with an account, right? Let me add an account here. So usually every opportunity is associated with an account. So they override this add product functionality. So when they click add product, they won't, even for the first time, when you are clicking add product, even for the first time, they override this with a custom page, and depending on the account's address, they automatically choose the price book for it. Rather than asking the user to choose the price book, depending on the account's address, they automate the price book from behind the scenes, so that the salesperson is not even bothered about, oh, which product, which price book I should choose and all that. But this one, whatever we have seen right now, is just the standard functionality that is given. But we can do some customizations and automations around that, where, the moment you click add product, it would automatically pick up the price book depending on the account's address or some of the fields on the opportunity. Like, we can do some of that stuff.
Can one opportunity have products from different price book?
No.
Okay.
Opportunity should only have products from the same price book. No, they cannot have products from different price books. Okay. I mean, an opportunity can have numerous products, but they cannot have products from different price books. Okay. Now, I think I told you this example here, but one of the first tasks that I, when I joined my first project, this was the task actually. So what they asked me to do was, they already had a product. Okay. They already have some products, not one. They already have a lot of products, and they already had a price book. They already have a lot of price books too. So they have a list of products and they have a list of price books. So using data loader, they asked me to create price book entries. You see, this is a price book, and these are called price book entries, right? Like, or like if you go from the product standpoint. So this is a product, and these 5 are the price book entries. Like, we are saying BMW 3 Series, what is the price in United States price book? So this line item is called a price book entry. Okay. So this is a product, this is a price book, and this line item whole is called a price book entry. So there can be like 10 products and 10 price books, and you can have 100 price book line items, like, price book entries. Each individual entry, like each individual rate entry is called price book entry. So they gave me a file which has like 50,000 rows of price book entries. So, I mean, they're so good. They gave me the product ID, price book ID, and, the prices, and they asked me to create price book entries. But, I was not aware of this whole functionality. And you know what I did? I create 50,000 price books like this. They already have price books. They already have products. They just wanted me to create price book entries. But because of my data loading mistake, I just created 50,000 price books. Imagine 50,000 price books. How big of a mistake was that? Like, if you think about it, like, who would have 50,000 price books? How would that company even survive with 50,000 price books? What would be the maintenance headache for it? But I was supposed to create the price book entry. Like, I was supposed to create the junction object records, not the master records. But, I just created those, but they were pretty good. They didn't say anything. They're supposed to fire me right then, but I don't know why they didn't say anything. Okay. Any questions, guys? So that's the standard features that I wanted to talk about. I just want to talk about reports, which I'll give you some introduction. Like, see, reports is one of the most common selling point for Salesforce. Okay, so when I say a common selling point, like the whole point of having this whole application, all the data at the same place. Like, remember, we are capturing the opportunity amount, how many products they have, which accounts the products belong to, what is the, whether the opportunity is closed won, whether the opportunity is closed lost, whether it's here, whether it's whether it's in the negotiation review, or whether it's closed lost, closed won. We are basically tracking everything in here. Okay. Now, what is the use of this? What is the use of this if we are unable to report on it? Like, reporting is nothing but the management should be able to make some good informed decisions, right? For example, they want to know, hey, how many opportunities that we have that are closed won? Okay, how many opportunities that we have in this year that are closed lost? Like when an opportunity is closed lost, they want to analyze the data. I'm like, hey, what is the reason why the opportunities are closed lost? Like, why are we unable to convert them as wins? And again, if you are a public company, you want to tell your investors how your future is looking like, right? Like, you want to say, hey, we are expecting 3% growth this quarter, or because every you would have like 4 quarters, and you need to announce your financial results every quarter if you are a public company. And while you are announcing your financial SEC reports or something, while you are announcing that, you need to tell them, hey, how the future is going to look like, how much you are going to make me. Now, how would they come with that? Like, how would they come with those numbers? They cannot just come with those numbers randomly. They need to report on it, and they need to report on how many opportunities that are in the open state. You see this probability here? This probability helps them make that decision. They will say, like, all the open opportunities, the opportunities that are not closed won, like opportunities that are not closed won is the money they made already. That would come under gross revenue. The opportunities that are open, the opportunities that are open will be, the future. It's looking forward for the future. But now, depending on the close date, depending on, you might have the close date as like this. So depending on the close date, they will be able to say, hey, this falls under next quarter. So next quarter, we are assuming that these many opportunities will be closed. So this is how we are predicting. And even in that, if the probability is higher, if you are at proposal price quote, see your probability is 75%. So the forecast, this is called forecasting, right? That's the forecast that you give for 75% probability will be different from. So, the reason why opportunity object is so important is there are so many financial decisions, public SEC statement, the annual, the balance sheet reviews, all those things depend on the numbers that are generated from these records. Okay. Now, in order to generate these numbers, as a CEO or a chief financial officer, they won't come and look at, they won't go to data loader, export the data, do the charts and everything in Excel, right? So that's why in Salesforce, we have something called reports. Okay. So you can create a report and automatically provide to them. For example, you can just say new report. Okay. I'm going to say opportunity, which object that you want to report on. I'll just say opportunities. Okay. Click next. So these are the columns that you can always choose whatever columns that you want. I don't want this. Remove column. The opportunity name is good. Physical period is good. Amount is good. All those. So do we have stage team? Oh, okay. We have stage is good. Now what I'll do is I'll just say show me all opportunities. Okay. Close date all time. Okay. Now you only want to see closed won opportunities. Okay. We just want to see closed won opportunities. So I'm going to add filter. I'll just say stage equals closed won. Okay, we don't even have a single opportunity that is closed won, which is bad for business. Okay, I'm gonna just say save and run. I'll just say closed won opportunities. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you what these folders are. For now, I'm going to just put in public folders and hit save. See, right now, a report is created, okay, which is called as closed won opportunities. Now all you can do is just share this link, like, for, in your, when your CEO or CFO or somebody logs in, they will already know, okay, there is when they click on reports tab, they will see closed won opportunities report. They just click on it and they'll see, oh, we have 0 records that are closed won. That means how bad we are doing business. That we didn't even win a deal. Like how? So now let's say I'm going to make one of the opportunities closed won. Okay, now I go back to the report. If I open this now, you see it is showing one opportunity, like the number of records in that opportunity is 1. So like we can create lots of reports. For example, like closed won opportunities between this period, between the fiscal period, closed won, or like the opportunities that are closed lost, like what is the lead source of the closed lost opportunities. So, I mean, not only opportunities, you can create these reports on any object, okay, but you should be able to create the reports on any object that you need. But I would also talk about what these folders are, like why it is important, because rather than how to create reports and all, I want you guys to understand what folder structure is. Let me explain you what the folder structure means. Okay, so let's say you have lots of files, right? Let's say you have files on your computer. So what would you do? See, when I have files, I created a folder called data loader folder and I put my files in. I created a success error log folder and I created, like I put my, like, I have a videos folder and I put my videos in there. I have my pictures folder and I put my pictures in there. Like, so there are, like, I created folders, and in the folder I'm creating all the files that I want. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of that? Like, what is the biggest advantage of creating a folder and then putting the files in there? First of all, it's organizing. I'm able to clearly organize stuff. Like, I'm able to clearly organize the things that I'm, that folder contains. Because, in the data loader folder, I'm only having the files that are related to data loading. Okay. In the pictures folder, I'm having all the, pictures that I have. Now, if you are, like, if you are not a good organizer and putting pictures in here, nobody's stopping you from doing that. But again, you wouldn't have the best result out of it. But technically, having a folder is allowing you to categorize and have all the related files related to that in one place. Now, tell me what would be easier. Like, I want to enable security. Like, I don't want anybody to be able to access these files. So I don't know. I don't know how to do this, but I think we have some options, right? Like in properties, maybe like in security, I can set up something, right? Like I can set up some permission and say, hey, this person should only have read access, or like in order to access this folder, you should enter some password or something. So this way, what I'm doing, I am enabling security at a folder level rather than individual file level. So like what I'm doing, I'm just saying, for this folder, like in properties, I'm just setting up some security and I'm controlling who should have read-write access, who should have read access. And any file that I add to this folder will follow the security, right? Like I do not have to configure the security again and again for each individual file. I create a folder, I add the security for that folder, and I keep throwing my files in that folder. So when every file that I throw in that folder will get the same security. Because imagine like how many files I might create, and it's so hard for me to control the security. Like, account data extract, this person, like, even for this we can control in here, but it's too cumbersome to be able to do that. Okay, so that's why what we do is we clearly define proper folders, and within those we control security at the folder level. Now, similarly, even in Salesforce, each report is a file. Okay, Now you see that's why like there is a new folder. I'm gonna say management reports. Okay, all I did is I just created a folder. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, so if you go to the folder, I created a folder called Opportunity Management Reports. Okay, then you see here, I have the share button. I'm just saying who should have, like, for example, I have manage access. Like, I can add users. For example, I can just search for HR user. Okay, view access. So you see, I'm saying for HR user have view access. I can create some public groups. Okay, I have say role and subordinate, or I can just say role CEO gives manage access and share. So any user with the role CEO will have manage access. So what is the difference between these access levels? Manage, view, edit. The person with view access will only be able to see the reports in that folder. The person with edit access will be able to edit the reports in that folder. The person with manage access will be able to see, edit, and will also have the ability to control which person should have access. They will also be able to control the sharing settings for this folder. Okay, so I created a folder called Opportunity Management Reports, and then I use the share button to be able to say, hey, Shravan will have manage access, HR user will have view access, and anybody with the role CEO will have manage access. Like, I define the security as well. Now, okay, let's go to reports. You see this closed one opportunities? Closed one opportunities, I'm gonna save. Sorry, I'm gonna, okay, see, select folder. So this report, now I just added to, like, this report, I add, like, forget about this. Let me just delete this one, not to create confusion. So now you see in the opportunity management folder, like, in the opportunity management reports folder, there is a report called this. Like, so all the reports that we are creating for management, okay, all the reports that we are creating for management, we can throw it in this folder. Okay, so that only, like, because we use this share button, share button in the folder, okay, let me just become reports, all folders, and you see here, because I use this share button to be able to share this report only with specific people, only they will be able to, like, when they log in, they will be able to see those reports, and depending on the access level that we define, they will only be able to do those things like either edit, view, or manage. Okay. Now, if you want to create a report that should be visible for everybody in the system, no matter what, then you have something called public reports folder. Okay. So when you create a report, like, you just go, I'm going to create an account report for just simply, okay, I'm just going to, okay, this report is created, and I'm going to save. You see, if I want to save, and if I just use public reports here, you see, that's why it's every time you're trying to save a report, it would ask you which folder you need to save. So if I click save, automatically the report gets added to that. So if you want a report to be visible for everybody, you add it to a public folder. If you want the report to only show up to you, you add it to a private folder. If you want the report to show up to an intermediate, like not for everybody, but not just to you, but to a specific list of people, then you need to add it to a specific folder. Like, you need to add it to a specific folder that has controlled access. Okay. So that's why what, like, in reality, what they do is, regular Salesforce world, what they do is they create a bunch of report folders, they control the security, and whenever the admin gets a requirement or the developer gets a requirement to create a report, they will ask them to say, or you need to ask them, hey, whenever you get a reporting requirement, you need to ask them, hey, where should I add this report? Like, should I make it public, or should it be added to a specific folder where there is already controlled sharing? And, based on their direction, you will either add it to a public folder or you will add it to a specific folder. Okay. Now, reports is a different concept again. How to create reports, how to add columns, how to remove columns, how to add filter conditions. That's a different concept that we will see. But before even going to the reports or how to create reports, you need to understand the folder structure. Okay. Folder structure, how reports work. Just like you create a folder. By default, there is already a public folder. Okay. By default, there is already a public folder, public report that's already available. And then by default, there is already a private folder where you will be able to, you will be able to save your own reports. And then there will be some report folders that are available, all folders, there will be some report folders that are available that can do a controlled sharing of the report. And depending on what categories, what type is, you will be throwing the reports that you create in that. Okay. So that's the folder structure, why we have something called report folders. Okay. Now, what are all the objects where you can report on? Like, for example, let me just click setup. In Object Manager, let me go to, I'm going to go to a random object. You see this? If you click Edit, you see Allow Reports is unchecked. Okay. Let's see what is the impact of this. I'm going to go click New Report. I will search for Employee. You see? I'm not getting any results. I'm unable to create report for it. Okay. The reason being, on the employee salary object, on the employee salary, let me even search for employee salary. I'm unable to get anything because on the employee salary object, you see the allow reports checkbox is unchecked. Now let me save this. Let me just check this checkbox called enable reports, or if you click edit, you will notice that there is an allow reports checkbox. Okay. Now let me just refresh this. Now I'll search for, you see, you're able to see employee salaries, right? So this is called report type. Okay. So the report types, like whenever there is an object created, the report type is automatically enabled. But, you need to make sure that this checkbox is checked. If you do not enable this checkbox, you will not be able to create reports for that object. Okay. So, this checkbox is, like, if I uncheck this and go look for it. So if I uncheck this, click on new report, search for employee salary, you won't be able to get it. So in order for the reports to be enabled, you need to make sure that enable report checkbox is checked at the object level. Otherwise, Salesforce will not allow you to report on that object. Okay. So most of the times, BAs or business analysts or system admins will be trying to create a report, and they'll come back to us and say, hey, I'm not able to create the report. I'm not seeing the option to create a report. And the first thing that you need to see is, they treated me like hero so many times when I did that. They will be trying so many things. They will not be able to create a report. Then they come back to me, or, they'll come back to the dev group and ask, hey, can you enable the reports? I just go there, check enable reports, and they'll be like, oh man, this is so great. You have done so much help. And it happened to me so many times. So anytime you get a complaint that somebody is unable to create reports on certain objects, the first thing that you need to do is go to the object and check if enable reports is there or not. Okay. And you see track field history. I'm going to show you that. Remember we talk about field history, right? Set history tracking. Okay. In order to set history tracking, you can check this checkbox, like, track field history, or you can go here and you can enable field history tracking as well. The track field history, enable reports, track activities, these are available for all the objects in the system. Now, for standard objects, we cannot choose to opt out from reports. Like for standard objects, you need to make sure reporting is enabled. You cannot opt out of the reports. Okay. Whereas for custom objects, you have the ability to uncheck enable reports, but for standard objects, you don't have the ability to uncheck enable reports. Okay. And any questions so far on why the folder structure should be there? Products, price book entries. Now, these are all standard out-of-the-box features that are available. There are like thousands of features like this that are available, but these are most common features that you really have to know. Any questions so far? Okay. So once this recording is available, I'm gonna upload it to our recordings page. Already stop the recording.